David Moyes has given his press conference ahead of Everton's trip to Molineux tomorrow to face Wolverhampton Wanderers. It'll be a tough game for Everton. David Moyes was asked about how he's found Wolves so far this season. This was his answer.
Well, you're making it sound as if that Wolves aren't a good side by what you're saying, and I would completely disagree with that. I think Wolves have got a good side, and I think the manager's doing a very good job, and they're developing as a team. They've got some very, very good players. So I'd go against what your question was, but look, we go to Wolves knowing that we know we've got a difficult game and we're going to have to play really well to get a result.
Yeah, the manager's right. They have got some good players. That being said, I do think it's an opportunity for Everton to go there and win. Why not? We've looked, against Leeds wasn't great, but we were much better against Brighton. Very comfortable against Mansfield. And what a way to start the season. Go there and get an early away win. Get that on the board. And then we go into an international break then with 6 points from 9, which would be a decent return. So hopefully we can get that 3 points. Obviously, the transfer window is approaching the close. It closes on Monday at 7 p.m. The manager was asked about more players coming in. We signed 8 already. He was asked, would there be more on the way? This was what he said.
Could do, but I don't want to raise all the expectations all the time. I think for most of the summer I've been saying that we will be making signings, we'll be looking to make signings, and we have done. Whether we get anything over the line before Monday night, I couldn't be sure of that yet.
And are there specific areas that you are still targeting?
Yeah, well, of course, if we're bringing things in, there's areas we feel as if we need, and if we can do it, great. If we don't, well, we'll go with what we've got.
Would that be defensively, given the, I wouldn't say problems, but the issues you've had there?
Well, we've had a few injuries there, but I just said that in the main we've been pretty strong defensively over the last year or two here, so the boys have done a very good job, but we want competition for them, and we want them to realise that there's people sort of breathing down their neck, but we're also quite happy with the ones we've got.
There you go. We're hoping that the business is done late on Monday. Loads of players coming in, because we have got a 24-hour live stream for deadline date. More about that in a minute. Harrison Armstrong was very impressive in Wednesday's 2-0 win over Mansfield Town. Got both the assists. Should have probably had a goal himself, and maybe a hat-trick of assists if Illiman and Jai would have hit the target. There's been a lot of conversation about where his future should lie, whether he should remain at Everton for this season or whether he should go out on loan to get more game time. David Moyes was asked after the Mansfield game about him, but today he was asked again and gave a lot more detail in his answer.
Well, I've got to say, I think that a loan's there if we want for him. There's plenty of teams who want to take him on loan. He played really well in midweek. He showed that he's got the potential to be a future Everton player, that's for sure. So we've got a decision. Do we think we're going to give him enough games between now and say even January? You have to remember, in January we've got African nations where we'll lose 2 or 3 players to African nations. So we've got that in our thought process. Even in buying players, you're always a bit worried. Are they going to AFCON, for example? So because we're going to be losing numbers in January as well. So from that point of view, we're looking at Harrison to say, do we get him some more game time now? Do we keep him with us? So it's something we're looking at. But we're really pleased with how he played, and he's beginning to come on. So he's looking at a very good future Everton player.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Obviously, he was excellent the other night. We want to see him playing for Everton, but can he get enough minutes? We'll wait and see what the decision is with that. But I think it's sensible as well, talking about maybe bringing him back if he does go on loan in January when we lose a few players, and particularly Idrissa Gana Gueye from the midfield. So we'll see where we go with that one. Sticking with the Wolves game for a minute, referee for tomorrow is Michael Oliver. I hear you all cheer. Not. He's the referee. He's going to be assisted by Stuart Burt and Lee Betts. The 4th official is Adam Herzeg, and the VAR is Craig Pawson, our old friend. And Craig Pawson, remember sending Phil Jagielka off at Wolves on day 1 of the season in 2018 for winning the ball. Gave him a red card, from which Ruben Neves scored a free kick. So I've never liked Craig Pawson, so there you go. And he is on VAR. So let's hope I like him tomorrow by 5 o'clock. Everton apparently are closing in on the signing of Thomas Souček from West Ham United. That's according to Sky Sports Pete and some other journalists today. They're talking about a bid of around 19 million is what West Ham want for the 30-year-old. Now, Graham Potter said the other day he wasn't for sale and he was important to Wolves, and he did score in their 3-2 defeat at Wolves on Tuesday night. I don't know whether it's simply a lazy link. I think David Moyes really likes the player, of course he does. We'll wait and see, I'm not sure. But another midfield player Everton have been linked today to, again, is Manchester United midfielder Kobbie Mainoo, who is available or wants to go out on loan. I think Manchester United apparently want to sell him rather than loan him, but the player wants a loan rather than a sale. Everton are one of the clubs monitoring the situation. He's a very good player, depending on where you play him. I think if you try to play him in the 6, he's not quite mature enough for that role in the Premier League to stick there, but he is an all-action midfield player, did really well, of course. It's weird one. It's a weird one why United are even considering letting him go, but maybe it's just the PSR challenges and Ruben Amorim doesn't quite see him as ready yet for them, but you know, it's definitely one that has piqued Everton's interest, and so it should. Really, he is a good footballer, but we'll wait and see where he ends up. Nick Chadwick, former Everton striker, has returned to Everton as the individual development lead coach. His role will centre on integrating individual players' learning objectives with practical application in training environments and competitive matches. He was the lead player development and head of player pathway and development at Wrexham. So, you know, former Everton striker, of course. Welcome back to Nick. If you want to know a little bit more about his journey, I interviewed him for Inside the Game, actually, and it's over on that channel if you want to go over and find out a little bit more about what he's been doing since he left Everton in particular, and then obviously his playing career moving into the coaching side of it. But he is back at Everton. He takes up that role in September, so congratulations and welcome back to Nick Chadwick. And finally, as I said before, we are doing a 24-hour live stream for Deadline Day. It begins at 9 p.m. on Sunday night. That is Sunday, the 31st of August. While we're doing it, we're going to be hopefully raising some money as well for the Kevin Campbell Foundation. We have got a Just Giving link that is in the description. If you can donate even £1, anything you can donate would be welcome. We are doing the live stream anyway. We were doing that anyway, but this is sort of, like I've said before, it's a side mission to raise some money as well for the Kevin Campbell Foundation. We are, of course, our ambassadors for that foundation. Kevin Campbell, someone who loved Toffee TV. We loved him. He was one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. One of the nicest human beings I think I've ever met in my life. He was also really important player for Everton Football Club, kept the club up. First black captain that Everton had, and just a tremendous guy. He really was. And obviously, come in the studio a few times. We spent many times in his company. He was just amazing. He absolutely loved Everton. He was an Arsenal fan. He was raised an Arsenal fan, but he loved Everton, I'd say, equally as much as Arsenal. And it was a proud honour for us to be asked to be ambassadors for the Kevin Campbell Foundation. So we're going to try and raise some money for them. But join us anyway, even if you know your finances are too tight and you can't donate. Join us anyway. Give us your support. That way we're going to be doing 24 hours starting Sunday night. It'll probably be mayhem at times. Mike Cosgrove will be in. If you've ever seen Mike before, particularly on a deadline day when he's hungry and Everton haven't got what he wants, he's a bit berserk, but in a good way. But there'll be lots going on. There'll be probably times where there'll be madness being chattered. Why don't you come and join us? 24 hours starting Sunday night, 9 p.m. The deadline is 7 p.m. Monday, but obviously we're going to be on till the 9 o'clock cut-off for deal sheets to be confirmed as well, just to get that full 24 hours in, so make sure you join us. Thanks for watching. See you later.